Rand, I need another episode of Fully Cinematic.
I reviewed several movies on this channel, but not one of them was that most cliched of Hollywood staples, the romantic comedy. Until now. I suppose it was bound to happen sooner or later. It took a little strategizing, even more changing of plans, and a lot of time for this movie to see the light of day. Was it all worth it? Let's find out. So let's get this over with. Pack your beachwear, grab your passport, don't forget the rings, or come along with me to a shotgun wedding. And oh yeah, there will be spoilers. Our story starts at the rehearsal party for Darcy's destination wedding at the Mahal Island Resort in the Philippines. While she freaks out waiting for the groom, Tom, he goes for an unplanned splash off a pier, ruining his suit. Meanwhile, Tom eventually arrives soaking wet and wearing a Hawaiian shirt, just in time to greet his soon-to-be father-in-law, Robert. And Tom's soon upstaged by his fiance's ex-fiancee, Sean, who shows up in a helicopter. He was invited by the father of the bride, who still likes him and goes out of his way to point out that Tom's baseball career has yet to rise above the minor leagues. Tom's speech is trash, while Sean's goes over great. That night, Tom desperately tries to rearrange the seating chart to keep Sean away from his woman until he's distracted by Dee Dee, Sean's nickname for Darcy, prancing around in a half shirt and panties. She tries to give him the business, but Tom wants answers to a few nagging questions, like why they break up and why she accepted this proposal in the first place, given that she broke the engagement off soon after. It turns out Darcy wanted to elope. It was Tom's idea to have a traditional wedding in order to satisfy his mom. The following day, Darcy's attempt to apologize for the previous night's argument goes left, devolving into another fight. Meanwhile, a group of pirates prepares to stick the wedding up. They set it off just as the lovebirds break up, with Darcy slapping Sean just before tossing his ring at him. The wedding guests are rounded up on the beach and marched into the resort pool, where each person's place name is stapled to his or her clothes. The only two people who get away are the bride and groom. Tom caught a glimpse of the commotion. Darcy just stormed off to their room. While he desperately tries to devise a way out of their predicament, she argues with him. Come on, lady. When one of the masked bandits, armed with an assault rifle, makes his way in, Darcy bungles the plan, blinding Tom with hairspray. Come on, man. Leading to their capture. At the pool, Robert, who has a net worth of 60 mil, is told by the head pirate that they'll detonate a bomb if he doesn't cough up 45 mil. During the golf cart ride to the pool, Darcy makes up for her previous blunders, setting one of the kidnappers on fire with a cigarette. When he and his comrade bail out, the still zip-tied couple narrowly avoids rolling off a cliff with the cart. And after being shot at, Tom manages to kill off one of the banditos, tripping him until he busts his head open on a rock. For her part, Darcy confiscates the guy's grenade. But since he'd already pulled the pin, she's stuck with it for now. At the pool, Robert refuses to ante up until he's assured that his daughter's safe. Tom and Stifler's mom, Carol, a Michigan realtor, explains her life story to the pirates because she saw on a television show that humanizing oneself may prevent kidnappers from killing a hostage. Her impromptu speech is only the first domino, leading various other members of the wedding party to stand and deliver as well. While Darcy and Tom hunt for a cell signal, they're spotted by a pirate, which forces them to ride a zip line down the mountain, during which gunshots cause Darcy to drop the grenade, which conveniently splatters two of the criminals. Eventually finding food and a blade, which they plan to use to cut their bindings, Darcy nags Tom about how to go about it. A rash decision on her part sets them free, but cuts him in the process. On the plus side, while Darcy passes out multiple times at the sight of his blood, Tom subsequently murks another pirate and inherits her shoddy. They soon find the owners of the resort, who reveal that the bandits invaded the year before as well. And a not-so-happy couple bickers about their relationship yet again. Realizing that the gunmen are zeroing in on the escape tunnel in which the four of them are holed up, Tom surrenders in order to keep J.Lo safe. When they take him to the pool, he holds Sean at knife point, pressuring him to confess that he conspired with the criminals to extort Robert for his millions. Tom lays out the entire scheme, which, crazily enough, turns out to be true. leading Sean to turn the tables and hold him at gunpoint. Back in the tunnel, Mrs. Affleck throws a pity party, which leads one of the owners to explain how they work through their marital issues, which encourages her to head off on a rescue mission. Arriving at the pool brandishing the shotgun, Darcy apologizes to Tom, accidentally pops off a shot that hits her sister Jamie, and forces her parents to apologize to Tom at gunpoint. This leads to revelations of infidelity by the monster-in-law and her husband before a pirate that Darcy injured, disarms her and throws her in the pool with everybody else. Tom's step-pops figures out that Robert's girlfriend, Harriet, is in on the caper, revealing that he caught her and Sean making out on camera the night before. Meanwhile, on the escape chopper, Harriet throws Blackbeard out of the bird and orders the pilot back to the resort, which is where Darcy's mom, Renata, apologizes to Robert and the guests sing Edwin McCain's I'll Be to the couple, until they rush the pirates, running one off, taking another captive, and detonating another grenade. A slow-mo run ends with the bride and groom's capture of another bandit before they attempt to pursue the rest in the honeymoon boat. This plan is interrupted by Sean popping off shots until he empties the clip. Following a scuffle with him, Tom flees with Darcy from the block in a speedboat. However, Sean managed to jump aboard, leading to another scuffle with Tom, while Harriet busts at Darcy from the chopper. Both Tom and Sean are dragged into the air by a parasail wing, but the former zip lines back to the boat using Darcy's weave. Cutting the line with his other half leads to Sean being sucked into the rotor blades, killing him and Dirty Harriet. Safely back on the beach, when Tom asks about their future together, Darcy gets down on one knee and proposes. The surviving pirates are apprehended by the authorities, and Tom finally gets his beach nuptials. Shotgun Wedding is very reminiscent of 2022's The Lost City, given that each features a constantly bickering couple comprised of a 50-year-old woman and a man in his 40s being pursued by a band of killers in a tropical locale. And in each case, said woman seems to be attracted to a more charismatic guy, who turns out to be less heroic than he initially seems. But while Shotgun Wedding leaves a lot to be desired, it's still 1,000 times better than The Lost City. And it's nice to see middle-aged characters and actors in rom-coms, especially when they're in this kind of shape. Shotgun is also a big step up from the most recent big-name wedding destination movie, Ticket to Paradise. Incidentally, this marks the most screen time that rocker Lenny Kravitz has ever had in a film. He uses the biggest part he's ever had in a movie to date to steal the show. He's even got the potential to give his daughter Zoe a run for her money. Co-headliner Josh Duhamel has plenty of experience in both action films and rom-coms, and it shows. He's definitely an improvement over the original actor, Armie Hammer, who bowed out. Nobody really needed to see the Lone Ranger getting married anyway. Of the two genres, comedic love stories have been co-star J.Lo's go-to. You could do worse things with your time than watch Shotgun Wedding. It's not a bad movie by any means, but as a love-hate relationship story that plays out in the middle of an exotic adventure, it's no Temple of Doom either. But anyway, shout out to everybody who commented, hit the like button, and subscribe to the channel. But I've had enough of this conversation, so I'm logging off.
Fully cinematic.